Good evening, everybody. Fine, so yesterday we started a new school, that is SAMKHYA, and before that we had discussed one issue in Indian School of Philosophy, that is with respect to cause and effect relationship. What is the relation between cause and effect? Buddha says that effect is dependent on the cause. So he has given dependent origination. Right. Apart from this, we have one view that effect already pre-exists in the cause. This is second view. And the third view is that effect is not already in the cause. It's a new beginning. Isn't it? So that effect is already there in the cause. This theory is known as SAMKHYA. For example, curd is already there in the milk. Cloth is already there in the thread. Oil is already there in the oil seeds, mustard seeds. This is SAMKHYA. Asatkarya will counter and they will say that if cloth is already there in the thread, then thread should serve the purpose of cloth. If oil is already there in the oil seed, then why you take so much of efforts to bring out oil from that? Then oil seed should serve the purpose of oil. This is a debate, right? So one is SAMKHYA, other is Asatkarya. Within SAMKHYA we have Parinamvad and Vivartvad. Parinamvad means complete transformation of the material cause. For example, milk is completely transformed into curd. Parinamvad. Vivartvad, rope, snake. Snake is only reflected. है नहीं एक्चुअल में कुछ. It's illusion. It's like mirage water. We see water, but actually there is no water. But it is being reflected. It's only revert. It's only reflection. Right? Asatkarya, that effect is a new beginning, and this is Arambhava. Is that fine? The three view होते हैं. चौथा view, perhaps what Jainas will be talking about? Jainas will be believing in which theory? SAMKHYA or Asatkarya? They will be believing in both, because they depend upon a point of view. So Asatkarya वो दोनों में believe करेंगे, क्योंकि वो किसी को deny कर ही नहीं रहे, because they believe in अनेकांतवाद. Now Sankhya theory, Sankhya school believes in Parinamvad form of SAMKHYA. Is that fine? That means they say that this world is of the nature of effect. It is of the nature of effect. क्यों? क्योंकि यार ये तो बन चुका है ना, ये तो मेरे सामने है. Isn't it? So this entire worldly things are of the nature of effect. If they are effect, and if they are believing in SAMKHYA theory of causation, logically they say that this effect already pre-existing in its cause, that is Prakriti. And this is where they come out with their a supreme reality, that is Prakriti. Right? Prakriti is supreme, ultimate, absolute reality. It is independent reality. Right? It is eternal reality. This is Prakriti is root cause. SAMKHYA theory of causation logically leads to Prakriti, isn't it? And this is the root cause, and this is the uncaused cause of all things. All worldly things are already implicit, latent in their cause, and that cause is Prakriti according to Sankhya school. Prakriti We will not get confused with the Prakriti as the nature. It is a reality according to them. And this Prakriti is one. And this Prakriti is unintelligent, that is unconscious, that is jada. Though it is ever active. It is ever active. It is dynamic entity. It is continuously becoming something. It is one, but it is unintelligent, it is jada, it is unconscious. Then we had seen that in this world, apart from matter, apart from this matter, there is also something which prevails in me, and that is conscious. That is intelligence. I have intelligence also, isn't it? To explain that, we can understand that they believe in another reality, that is Purusha. Purush is again supreme reality, ultimate reality, absolute reality. It is independent, co-eternal, along with the Prakriti. It is also eternal reality, along with the Prakriti. But it is not the root cause or uncaused cause of anything. ये किसी का cause नहीं है. However, this Purusha, they are not one, they are many. And this is intelligent principle, or you can say it is conscious principle. But it is inactive. It is inactive. In that way, we see that Sankhya philosophy comes out with two ultimate absolute realities. And now we will see that they stresses the entire course of the world due to interplay of two supreme realities, that is Prakriti and Purush. They have already proved that, look, consciousness cannot be the cause. It cannot be the cause. Because in this world we have unintelligent things. An intelligent principle cannot transform itself into unintelligent thing. Intelligent thing can make only intelligent. In that way, consciousness or Purusha cannot be the cause. Then we said that why can't atoms be the cause? Because other schools have accepted that atoms are the cause, isn't it? But they say that even atoms are not the cause. Why? Because atoms cannot explain subtle things. Cannot explain subtle things. Sukshma, like ahankar, like man. They cannot explain because they are not made up of atoms. Atom से जो चीज बना है वो तो क्रॉस हो जाएगा. Moreover, this universe is one, but atoms are infinite, and that too is scattered. But this universe is one, well organized. It is not chaos. It is not scattered. In that way, atoms cannot be the cause. Who is saying? Sankhyan is saying. And right now, we have to put ourselves in Sankhyan shoes. We all are now hardcore Sankhyan. Isn't it? Earlier we started with Jainism. We changed our faith when we became Buddhist. And again we have changed our loyalties. And now we are hardcore Sankhyan. This is our golden rule number 1. So, if we are hardcore Sankhyan, if we are blind followers of Sankhya, then can we have any kind of doubt on them? No. It cannot be. It should not be. Once again we will be changing our loyalties, फिर धोएंगे इनको, कोई टेंशन नहीं. लेकिन उससे पहले तक we have to be into the Sankhyan system. This is what Sankhya is trying to explain with the help of two ultimate realities, eternal reality. They have proved consciousness cannot be the cause, atoms cannot be the cause. Hence, it is only one independent, ever active Prakriti is the root cause. But alone it cannot evolve. Why? Though it is dynamic, but it is unintelligent. On the other hand, Purusha alone cannot evolve this world, because though it is intelligent, but it is inactive. Hence, to remove or to compensate each other's deficiency, it is quite obvious now. There will be now provision for their cooperation, because both will remove each other's problems, weaknesses. And this is where both of these will cooperate with and Purusha. Right? So as to have visualization, what actually is happening at the cosmic level. They say that Prakriti, they compare by metaphors, they use analogies, that Prakriti is like feminine, pure, virtuous, feminine beauty, and Purusha is masculine. It's like just as male and female conjugate, in the same way we have at the cosmic level feminine and masculine will conjugate to realize their respective purpose. What is their purpose? Purpose is Prakriti sense is like, feminine. She wants to be seen. She wants to be enjoyed. Right? She is described as a dancing girl. She wants that there should be somebody who sees her dance. Hence, her purpose is darshanatham. Darshanartham. Again we will take up, no issues. Darshanartham. Darshan करने वाला कोई होना चाहिए. Isn't it? On the other hand, Purush has purpose to enjoy, to see, and through this enjoyment, Purush, that is nothing, isn't it? Purush is nothing kind of soul. So Purush will enjoy Prakriti, and through this enjoyment of Prakriti, Purush will seek liberation. Because entire school, all schools are basically concerned with only liberation. We have nothing to do with all this stuff. We just want liberation, salvation, nirvana, kevalya. So ये जो कुछ भी समझा रहे हैं, whatever they are trying to explain, it is only with respect to that is liberation. So Purusha will enjoy Prakriti, and its purpose is kevalyartham. Kevalyartham. Getting my point? So Prakriti and Purusha will conjugate with each other to realize their respective purpose. Prakriti's purpose is darshanartham, and Purusha's purpose is kevalyartham. Here liberation is known as kevalya. Just as two friends, blind and lame, cooperate with each other to cross over the forest, in the same way these two realities will cooperate with each other to realize their respective purpose. Darshanartham and kevalyartham. And this is where they conjugate. And we will see what happens when they conjugate. Is that fine? Now, one by one, this is a broad structure of your SAMKHYA school. Now we will take one by one. Now we will take separately what is Prakriti, what it does, how SAMKHYA are explaining. Then we will take a Purush, what is Purush, how they explain. And again we will come back to the third topic, that what is their role, isn't it? Prakriti and Purush, their conjugation and what next now. And how, why I am in bondage, and why and how I will be getting liberty. Isn't it? Broad structure is, we have explained in that way. Now let us come to Prakriti. Prakriti is unity of three guna. Prakriti is unity of three guna. These three gunas are not parts of Prakriti. They are not parts. They are not attributes or gunas or qualities in ordinarily sense. These three gunas are not parts of Prakriti, because Prakriti is one, partless. One means what? Partless. इसका कोई part नहीं है. It is Prakriti is not a thing where three gunas are existing. Just see, Prakriti is not a thing or is not an entity where three gunas are existing. If three gunas are existing, that means these three gunas could be separated. But Prakriti is one, partless, inseparable, indivisible. So what are these three gunas then? Then they say that these three gunas are the very aspect of Prakriti. They are very essence or very aspect of Prakriti. I repeat further, Prakriti is not an entity where three gunas are existing. Like for example, these three are gunas. This is Prakriti. That means I can, even at least in thoughts, I can separate. Neither they are attributes or gunas. Rather, Prakriti is this. Getting my point? Prakriti itself is these three gunas. You can understand that just as three threads intertwine with each other to make a rope, isn't it? Just as three threads, three strands intertwine with each other to make a rope. If any one thread is missing, then we can't have rope, rassi, isn't it? In the same way, these three gunas intertwine with each other like three threads to make the rope of Prakriti, which will bind poor chap, Purush. Purush will come in bondage, no? Purush is what? More or less soul, isn't it? Prakriti has been described as feminine, right? And now we are saying that just as Prakriti, just as, three threads intertwine with each other to make a rope, in the same way these three gunas intertwine with each other to make a rope of Prakriti, which will bind Purusha, right? And I said, which will bind poor chap, Purusha. You will understand why he is poor. Poor chap means he is not interested because he is inactive. उसको दीन दुनिया से कोई मतलब नहीं है. But still he has to be trapped. How, why, when, we will see. But one thing is there, that these three gunas are the very aspects of Prakriti. These three gunas are, first is Sattva Guna. The Sattva Guna is the principle of goodness. This is the principle of goodness. Sattva Guna produces happiness, bliss, pleasure. It produces contentment. Sometimes we say, oh, I am satisfied. It is only because of the Sattva Guna. I am very happy, Sattva Guna. Upward movement, it is something like got promotion, Sattva Guna, isn't it? It is happiness, bliss, it is illuminating. It is illuminating. That means, just as this light comes on this board, and whatever is written on the board, you are able to see it. In the same way, whatever we are discussing, whatever you read, whatever you hear, if you understand, that is all because of the Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is like a torch. It throws a light on that which was earlier in dark, and you come to see. And when you understand, then it gives you satisfaction, it gives you pleasure, Sattva Guna. Isn't it? When whatever we are discussing, if you are understanding, right, that means Sattva Guna. You feel satisfied, you feel pleasure. Now it should come in exam, I'll write it answer. Happiness, that is all because of the Sattva Guna. Is that fine? So, first guna is Sattva Guna. Second is Rajo Guna. That is the principle of foulness. It is the principle of, you can say, dynamism. Principle of dynamism. Dominance of Raja Guna produces in you, that is, pain. Right? Restless activity. Restless activity. Or dominance of Raja Guna produces in you pain. Sometimes we say, here I am very tensed. Raja Guna is dominating at that point of time. Right? Restless activity. Whole night I could not sleep properly. I was so restless. I was just moving here and there. Puri raat karvat badalta raha. Raat in night 2 o'clock. Which gun dominated? Raja Guna jada ho gaya. Isn't it? So this is how restless activity. And since it is a principle of dynamism, it results into feverish effort. Feverish effort. Feverish effort means hyperactivity. Because Rajaguna is dynamic, and if it becomes high, it stimulates. It is stimulating. Feverish effort, some people are hyperactive. They can't do anything normally. Their BP is always high. That is because of Rajaguna. Its color is red, semi-red. It is stimulating, isn't it? So, Rajaguna. Yes, of course. Tense, anxiety, stress, everything is Rajaguna. Third is Tamoguna. It is the principle of darkness. It is the principle of darkness. Dominance of Tamoguna produces ignorance, confusion, negativity, passivity, lethargy. This is Tamoguna. We are ignorant. We are not knowing. That is because of Tamoguna. The Tamoguna is dominating. Confused. Some people are full of negativity. Isn't it? So that is Tamoguna. Whenever we are discussing, if you are understanding, that is all because of Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna is acting as a torch. It throws a light on that, what was earlier in dark, and you come to know. And once you understand, then it gives you a happiness, satisfaction, Sattva Guna. Whatever we are understanding, if you don't understand, then pain, tension, that is Rajaguna shoots. Isn't it? So Rajaguna. Class for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's a very long class. Then Tamaguna dominates, and some people enjoy their sleep because it is lethargic. No? It produces lethargy. Isn't it? Everything is coming from Prakriti. That means everything is Prakriti. This is also a kind of Prakriti. Everything is Prakriti, isn't it? Because everything, right from top to bottom, is coming from Prakriti. And there is a complete transformation of Prakriti. Hence, this is Prakriti, this is Prakriti, this is Prakriti, everything is Prakriti. And Prakriti is the unity of three gunas. That means everything is the unity of three gunas. That means even this has three gunas. Sat, Raj, Tam. Isn't it? How? When it is writing on the board, you are seeing, understanding Sattva Guna. Right? And when I throw this pen to you and it hits you, it hurts you, it produces pain in you. And when ink is exhausted and I keep on writing, then what you see? Nothing. Everything is in dark, Tamo. Isn't it? I am also unity of three gunas. Sat, Raj, Tam. Sattva you must, all these gunas you must have heard. At least Sattva you must have heard. Sat Sang. Sang means company. Sat means good, company of good people. Satsang we immediately correlate with the, temple mein satsang is going on. But that might not be satsang. Satsang is a company of good people, isn't it? He is a very sattvic person. Aur bada sattvic insan hai. Means very simple, honest, down to earth, something like that. So I am also unity of three gunas. Everything is unity of three gunas. Isn't it? At particular time, whichever guna is dominating, I will exhibit the characteristic of that guna. Isn't it? Whichever guna is dominating at particular time, I will exhibit the characteristic of that guna. Right? Even right now, these three gunas, we will see that they are continuously fighting with each other to dominate. Isn't it? So, what I am saying, what I am doing, what I am thinking, it is all interplay of three gunas. Sat, Raj, Tam. Whatever I say, even right now, many thoughts are coming, and many thoughts might be Sat, might be Raj, might be Tam. I may have negative thoughts, isn't it? So, sometimes we say, Arey yaar, he is always confused. In him, always dominating is Tamaguna. Our whole day is divided into three gunas. Morning, we feel fresh, with full of enthusiasm, energy, positive thought. Broadly, it is dominated by Sattva Guna. Isn't it? As day picks up, we run to our institute, office, college, business, shop, and all day we work. That is Rajaguna. And as the day moves towards end, Rajaguna declines and Tamaguna rises. And 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock and we take dinner and 10 o'clock and completely then 11 o'clock dominated by Tamaguna. It's a broad thing. It is not like, hardcore division. Even in the night 2 o'clock, I can have Sattaguna. Or even in the morning, I have Tamaguna. It's, depending upon which guna dominates. But broadly we see, this is how division of day is there. And this is how you must have heard and you must have got advice from elders that you should get up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta. Begins from, I think, broadly at 4 o'clock. And you should study in that. Even I can't say Brahma Muhurta. It's so difficult to get up. Isn't it? So, morning 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, broadly Brahma Muhurta. Whatever you read, you understand in one go. This is how elders say. Though it's a different issue that our cycle is totally reversed. Now we sleep at 4 o'clock. So, this is how the thing is there. In paper 4, these 3 gunas are to be utilized. Every guna has their own importance. Raja guna and tamo guna are not totally negative. Problem occurs when dominance is there. And in paper 4, once we come, the philosophical interpretation, because that layer is philosophy, because this paper is value-based. So now you say that, corruption, hereditarism, and this problem and that problem, all that problem is political causes and social causes, economic causes, and if somebody asks what are the philosophical causes, then we should be in position, of course you will be reading that it is the imbalance between these 3 gunas. There is a dominance of Rajaguna and Tamaguna. Hence, corruption, poor implementation of schemes and programs, poor work culture, delaying of projects, overshooting of the targets, etc., etc. If you really want to have that ethical standards of bureaucrats and civil servants, then you need to establish a balance between 3 gunas. This is the philosophical causes and this is the philosophical way to have that ethical standard. Isn't it? On the website, I have put one booklet on the ethics, volume 3. Right? So you can just go through that. I think there are certain 5 chapters over there, and that is the application of philosophy to the governance and the bureaucracy and all that. That book is good whenever you read something on ethics, and whenever you have some broad idea on ethics, you can go through that booklet. That will help you a lot. Though it may not cover directly your syllabus, but still that will be very helpful on my website, Mitra, right? So this is how. However, in paper 1, Indian philosophy, we will not get into that. I just deviated. So these are the 3 gunas: Sat, Raja and Tam. Prakriti, the supreme, ultimate, one reality, according to Sankhya, is the unity of 3 gunas. It is the unity of 3 gunas. And these 3 gunas are the mere aspects of Prakriti. Sat, Raj, Tam. Every guna has their own importance. Leadership, innovativeness, creativity, Raj guna, Tam guna. Problem occurs only when there is imbalance. Right? Let us move further. When these 3 gunas are held in a state of equilibrium, when these 3 gunas are held in a state of equilibrium, then this state is known as Samya Avastha. Samya Avastha. When these 3 gunas are held in a state of equilibrium, this state is known as Samya Avastha. And you should remember that this is the real nature of Prakriti. This is the true nature of Prakriti. This is the real or true nature of Prakriti. So if anybody asks, what is Prakriti in Sankhya philosophy? You should say that when 3 gunas are held in a state of equilibrium, that is the true nature of Prakriti. Do remember this. Later on we will utilize this factor. Correct? So, when these 3 gunas are held in a state of equilibrium, this is Samya Avastha. During this state, during the Samyavastha, there is no creation. There is no creation. That state is known as Pralaya Avastha. That is Pralaya Avastha. Pralaya Avastha is the state of dissolution. It is the state of dissolution. What does it mean? It simply means that now, in this state, there is no creation. Right? It is the state of dissolution. All the worldly things, where they have gone? Where they are right now, when there is no creation? In Prakriti. Because Prakriti is the root cause. Prakriti is the root cause. And when there is no creation, then all worldly things are lying, latent, implicit in Prakriti. Because they believe in Satkareva. Is that fine? Pralaya, don't get confused with the Pralaya, that there is, storm is coming and, भाग रहे लोग भाग इधर उधर कर रहे हो. ऐसा नहीं है. Pralaya Avastha is a state where there is no creation. Right? In this state of Samyavastha, we have homogeneous changes. There are homogeneous changes. Homogeneous changes means that there is no fighting among three gunas. Means Sat is changing into Sat, Raj into Raj, and Tam into Tam. There is no fighting. There is no one gun is trying to dominate the other two. Right? This is a homogeneous, or it is a silent equilibrium state of Prakriti. You can understand that at this point of time, Prakriti is like an ocean. On the surface of ocean, we find it, what? Silent, calm, peace, no dynamism, nothing. It is as quiet as anything. Prakriti is right now like this. Feelings are produced by the Satrastam. When I am happy, इसके लिए थोड़ा सा you have to wait for some time. Okay? So, we are discussing that Prakriti is like an ocean. When we see ocean on the surface, it seems so quiet, so silent, so calm. But deep within the ocean, what is happening? Plate tectonic. You can understand in that way. In that way, you can say Prakriti in this state, there is a state of equilibrium. But Prakriti is actually ever active, isn't it? And what this ocean contains, are we aware? No, because they are deep within. Until and unless all these products, all these, different creatures come on the surface, you can't know them, isn't it? This is like the state of Prakriti. That is Pralaya Avastha.
So what do you mean by equilibrium?
Equilibrium is that one gun is not fighting with the other gun. There is no intermingling. In this state, Samaguna, which is heavy, that Samaguna is heavy, and it has enveloped Sattva Guna and Raja Guna. दोनों को दाब के बैठा हुआ है. You can understand in that way. Right? Don't get confused. I have given you a very good example of ocean. Ocean seems to be peace, calm, no change. But deep within the ocean, is it static? No, there are many creatures which are moving here and there. कोई उथल पुथल नहीं है. There is no chaos, isn't it? But deep within the ocean, some activity is going on. That is plate tectonic. चल रहा है ना? That has to be there in the Prakriti, because deep within the Prakriti itself, can it be static? We have already defined ever active. Why it is ever active? Now I can ask this question. Why Prakriti is ever active? Prakriti is nothing to do with liberation. She is not interested. Fine, it's inherent nature, huh?
It wants attention.
You carried away by emotion. It is on the board. Why Prakriti is ever active?
It is made of three
Yes. Why three guna?
It should be included. The dynamic aspect. They dominate.
My simple question. Yeah. It is there on the board because of the Rajaguna. And Rajaguna is principle of dynamism. Hence Prakriti has to be dynamic. And even otherwise we have said the Prakriti is the root cause, and being a root cause it has to be ever active. Right? That is Pralavastha. Pralavastha means no creation. Simply put, abhi kuch nahi hai. There is nothing. No creation means no creation, no. Is that fine? There should be no confusion at all. No only things have been there. Right? Till now you can understand, it's like milk. No curd. Isn't it? No, nothing like that, lassi and chach and shrikhand and all that product. Nothing. Milk is there. This is all. The Prakriti is there. Can it be? What you are asking? Root cause of three gunas, is it Prakriti? Prakriti is itself three gunas. Then only I had explained, Prakriti is not something where three gunas are existing. No, rather this Prakriti itself is three gunas. Prakriti खुद ही तीन गुण है, उसके three aspects हैं प्रकृति के. Is that fine? I think ocean example is very good. That is leaving no confusion at all. Samyavastha is referring to the Prakriti. That is, when three gunas are held in a state of equilibrium. This is Prakriti and this is Samyavastha. During this Samyavastha, there is no creation. So with respect to world, it is Pralavastha. You can say both the states are referring to only one thing, but point of reference is something different. That is with respect to three gunas, and Pralavastha is with respect to creation or the worldly thing. Now, whatever this ocean contains, I can know only when this ocean becomes upside down. That means whatever in this ocean is, which seems to be so quiet, so calm, so balanced, so, silent, isn't it? What is there deep inside, for that it needs some disturbance. Like for example, there need to be some tsunami, and when tsunami comes, then what happens? Then this ocean will be upside down, and whatever it has deep within, one by one, those things will come on the surface. Hence, this Prakriti, if it needs to create this world, it needs to be disturbed. This Samyavastha, equilibrium of three gunas, has to be disturbed. And moment this Prakriti is disturbed, moment this ocean is disturbed, and here begins, all those creation, something like that. And this disturbance is provided by the conjugation of Prakriti with the Purusha. And this is where we have Prakriti and Purusha conjugate with each other to realize their respective purpose. And that respective purpose is, Prakriti's purpose is Darshanartham and Purush purpose is Kevalartham. And this conjugation, this contact, this conjugation or this contact disturbs Prakriti. Prakriti gets disturbed. This disturbing point is known as Gunakshobha. Shobha means a disturbance, and disturbance in the guna. And the moment gunas are disturbed, then Rajaguna, which is the principle of motion, vibrates, then gets free from the enveloping of Tamaguna. And this is where now Sat, Raj and Tam will intermingle with each other and will start fighting with each other to dominate. Isn't it? This is where Samyavastha is disturbed. Is that fine? Conjugation with the Purusha. No but. There is no room for but. No but. We are hardcore Sankhya, and I already told you, it will become uncontrollable and irresistible, and it will happen like this. He said, but please remember, abhi nahi.
My point is, Prakriti should come to support conjugation, not Purusha should come.
Of course Prakriti is coming only.
But here, if Prakriti is in equilibrium state.
Yes.
And we say that Purusha is already in inactive state. So how the conjugation will happen?
Now you have changed but to how. But your question remains same. But yes, I can answer your one question. Purush is not moving. Purush is inactive. Purush is not interested at all. No Prakriti, no dance, nothing. No interest. It is the Prakriti which is dynamic. And Prakriti wants to be seen. So if you say how Purush is coming, no, that is technically wrong.
I am saying from this point, at the point of equilibrium only, not when it is like ever active. I can understand that. But here when it is in like Samavastha,
Prakriti has to evolve. Prakriti has to evolve. And this evolution of Prakriti is Darshanartham.
So basically, even in the state of Samyavastha, Darshanartham purpose is there.
Don't get complicated. Prakriti has the purpose, Darshanartham. To realize that purpose, Prakriti will conjugate or will have a contact with Purusha. Isn't it? And once there is a contact between Prakriti and Purusha, Prakriti gets disturbed. And once it gets disturbed, then Prakriti starts evolving. And one by one product comes. One by one product starts coming from Prakriti. This is what the Darshanartham. Isn't it? And for this only, she needs Purusha. Is that fine? And Purusha wants to enjoy. Purush wants to enjoy. And through this enjoyment, he will seek Kevalya. It's a very conceptual. I don't expect for you to understand this, what I'm saying. It's too conceptual. Earlier also, yesterday also, I emphasized on that. And right now also I have emphasized. But I don't expect. Let me first move on. Let us first see where they go. And then I will have some expectation. What does that mean? Right? So Purush has Kevalartham and Prakriti has Darshanartham. To realize their respective purpose, they conjugate, there is a contact. And the moment of Prakriti get disturbed, that disturbing point becomes the starting point of creation. And now one by one products will come from Prakriti. And the first product which comes from the Prakriti is Mahat. That is, Mahat is Buddhi. Mahat is intellect. Right? The first product out of Prakriti is intellect. That is Buddhi. Or you can say broadly, mind. Is that fine? Moment this Mahat comes, that is intellect. Then what comes? That this is my intellect. And hence what comes? Ego. Hence the second product is ego. That is ahankar. Right? Then comes ahankar, ego, mine, I, my, it's me, ahankar. And now this is where this is proper. Now in bondage. We will take a Purush separately. Right now we are discussing not the entire Sankhya. We are discussing only Prakriti. But in this discussion, I have no option. Obviously, I can't discuss without Purush now. But Purush we will take up separately. Prakriti, then I'll take up Purush, and then again we will create the chart. By that time you will understand. So, first product is Mahat. Second product is, out of Mahat what comes? Ahankar. And Ahankar, you can say broadly, it is of three types, depending upon the dominance of Guna. If Sattva Guna dominates, then this is Sattvic. Rajasic and Tamasic. Right? First product is Mahat. From Mahat, Ahankar, and Ahankar has the predominance of three gunas and three types. From Sattvic, we have coming out of 11 sense organs, that is Ekadas Indriya. Ekadas Indriya. Ekadas Indriya, that is 11 sense organs. That is, I'll write here, or is it visible? I'll write here Sattvic. It is 11 sense organs are Man plus 5 sense organs plus 5 motor organs. Motor organs means through which we do activity, action, like we move, right? My tongue, reproductive system, eliminating process, NS, all these 5 motor organs come. 5 external sense organs come. Man comes. Creation करना है ना? Isn't it? Don't get confused क्या कहाँ क्या चल रहा है. This is right now, this person who is standing is a conjugated state of Prakriti, and this is Prakriti, but that which prevails, Purush. तो भाई अब ये समझाना है ना, ये कहाँ से क्या क्या isn't it? So I have intellect. I'm egoistic, which means it's I am telling you, it's me, mine, ahankar. Ekadas Indriya, 11 sense organs. Then Rajasic, it is not giving any product, but it is the propelling factor, that is, it is giving us energy, because Rajguna is dynamic. From Tamasic, 5 subtle things come. 5 subtle things come. Right? 5 subtle things means smell, taste, those 5 things come. And when 5 things combine with each other, then they give rise to 5 gross things. Right? And then we have now gross things, like this proper ears have come. Gross है नहीं, This is all gross. This gross has come only out of subtle things. And these 5 subtle and 5 gross has come from Samkhya Ahankar. I'm energetic. I'm talking to you. I'm walking. I'm running. I'm speaking. Your energy consciously from where this energy is coming? Rajasic. And this man and 5 sense organs and 5 motor organs that has come from Sattvic. And hence, this is what the creation. Right now, Purusha is enjoying whom? Prakriti. When they say Prakriti is a dancing girl, this is what they dance. It's a creation only. Isn't it? Prakriti wants to be seen, wants to be enjoyed. I'm enjoying Prakriti. Through this enjoyment only, I will seek liberation, because that is my purpose. And that purpose is Kevalartham. This is now we have creation. So Samyavastha, Pralayavastha, homogeneous changes, right? Contact between Prakriti and Purusha, and contact results into disturbance. Gunakshobha. And this Gunakshobha is the starting point of creation. And this state is known as Visham Avastha, the process of creation. This is Visham Avastha. Is that fine? So, how many products have come now from Prakriti? Count. Think, see, and count. Yes, count properly. It's just counting. No two answers is same. Not in broad sense, infinite. Not that we are properly given how many products are come.
12, 26,
Energy is not a product, of course. Isn't it? Yeah, you are very near. 22, you are very near. 1, 2 plus 11. How many? 13 plus 10. 5 plus 5.
सर सेंस ऑर्गन 2 बार आएगा.
2 बार आए नहीं.
एक बार
सटल एंड ग्रॉस. पंच महाभूत बन गए यहाँ पर. या सात्विक में तो मन 5 सेंस ऑर्गन 5 मोटर ऑर्गन है. यहाँ पर उनका एसेंस है.
सब फिर ग्रॉस भी तो है ये वगैरह.
फिर ग्रॉस एटम्स भी तो बन रहे हैं ना. और एटम से बना है. इसमें कोई एसेंस नहीं है ना पहले. दैट इज नॉट द एसेंस. राइट. In a way, now, how many products have been there? 23. So this is here, Prakriti, one by one, evolves 23 products. 23 evolutes out of Prakriti, which, yeah? No, energy is not a product. It's only propelling force. 23 products is already contained in Prakriti, and with the disturbance, Prakriti is evolving. Prakriti is actually unfolding. The word is important, technical word. Prakriti is unfolding. What does it mean? What do you mean by unfolding? Means, if I unfold my pocket, how many things I can take out from my pocket? As many objects as I am having in my pocket. It's unfolding. and folding back all those things into my pocket. So Prakriti is unfolding, means it has already contained all that product, no new thing. It is only unfolding, that means it is already that which is containing. One by one it is revealing. Of course, she is opening her card. Isn't it? This is how she unfolds. And when it folds back, that stage is pralaya. So, unfolding, that is creation and destruction, alternative cycles is going on. Is that fine? So this is how we have Prakriti, 3 gunas and Prakriti's evolution. And in total, we have 23 evolutes, 23 products. These 23 products, along with the Prakriti and with Purusha, in total, that makes 25 principles. And hence we say that Sankhya philosophy is the philosophy of how many principles? 25 principles. Sankhya means Sankhya, that is number. And Sankhya also means right knowledge. Fine. But of course, we are more interested in which meaning? Sankhya. We are more interested in which meaning? Right knowledge, no? We are not because ultimate purpose is liberation, no? And root cause of bondage is ignorance, and ignorance will be removed by right knowledge. So this is Sankhya. Isn't it? Anyway, so this philosophy is all about 25 principles. Usually one question comes from, this philosophy of 6th century BC in your prelims. Very often, very usually comes one question. Right? So you can have this question. Which of the following is philosophy of 25 principles? Basically, this is not from philosophy, this is from 6th century BC. And perhaps I would have told you that 6th century BC is the most important stage in Indian history. This is the formative years. Polity, economy, society, legal, judicial, your religion, your philosophy, your merchant, trade and commerce, these are the formative years. So one question is certain from the 6th century BC. By that logic, one question usually comes. Is that fine? Let us take down some synopsis, then I'll move further. Give heading Sankhya. Sankhya is one of the oldest orthodox Indian school of philosophy. It is dualistic. Because it believes in 2 ultimate principles, Prakriti and Purusha. It is realistic. It is realistic since it believes matter and spirit are equally real. Matter and spirit are equally real. Spirit. It is pluralistic realism. It is pluralistic realism because Purushas are many. It is atheist because there is no place of God. Next point. The basis of this school is SAMKHYA theory of causation. SAMKHYA theory of causation. Within that, they believe in Parinamvad form. Within that, they believe in Parinamvad form. Next point. SAMKHYA school traces the whole course of world, traces the whole course of world due to interplay of two ultimate and independent principles. Two independent ultimate principles, that is Prakriti and Purush. Give a small heading, Doctrine of Prakriti. SAMKHYA theory of causation logically leads to the conception of Prakriti as the root cause all the worldly objects are latent in this uncaused cause, are latent or implicit in uncaused cause. It is the potentiality of the nature. Next point. As the first principle, it is Pradhan. That is, as the first principle, it is the Pradhan. As unconscious and unintelligent, it is Jada. As a ever active, it is Shakti. Next point. It is independent, absolute. It is independent, absolute, eternal, unintelligent, one, and ever active. Next point. Consciousness cannot be the cause. Moreover, material atoms also cannot be the cause. Material atoms also cannot be the cause. Next point. Prakriti is the unity of three gunas. These three gunas are mere aspects of the Prakriti. or
mere aspects of Prakriti. First is Sattva Guna. That is principle of goodness. Rajya Guna. That is principle of motion. Third, Tamaguna. That is the principle of
darkness. That is the principle of darkness. Next point, new point. All these three gunas are always in the state of
conflict and cooperation.
Are always in the state of conflict and cooperation. Conflict and cooperation. When they are in the state of equilibrium, then this is known as Samkhyavastha.
This is the true nature
of Prakriti. This is the true nature of Prakriti. In this state, there is no creation. In this state, there is no creation. This state is Pralaya Avastha. There is only homogeneous changes. Next point. For creation, Samkhyaya Avastha is to be disturbed. Samkhyaya Avastha is to be disturbed. And a disturbance occurs because of the conjugation between Prakriti and Purush. As a result, there are now heterogeneous changes. As a result, there are now heterogeneous changes. And Prakriti starts evolving. Prakriti starts evolving. That is Visham Avastha. That is Visham Avastha. Next point. 23 evolutes arises.
23
evolutes arises. You can just make a small flow chart. Mahat Ahankar, then Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. From Tamasic we have Ekadas Indriya, Rajasic energy, Tamasic 5 subtle things, and from 5 subtle we have 5 graphs. Fine, so this is like doctrine of Prakriti. What is Prakriti? That is ultimate. Only thing which we need to remember, it is one, it is unintelligent, it is ever active. It is unity of three guna. Samyavastha, Pralayavastha, Gunakshobh, that is conjugation. And Gunakshobh is the starting point of creation. And one by one, 23 products come. Mahat, Ahankar, Ekadas Indriya, and these 5 subtle and gross. This is how now proper creation. So this is what we have now, Vishamavastha. Is that fine? Yes.
So mahat or intellect, is it material in nature?
I think this question you repeated. Okay. Mahat is intellect. Mahat is buddhi. Now you tell me, is it intelligent? Intellect. Is intellect intelligent? Yes or no? Then you are not ardent and blind followers of Sankhya. You all of a sudden left, isn't it? And you become layman. But right now we are not layman. We are Sankhyans. And whatever questions are to be asked, that will be asked from Sankhyan point of view, until unless it is specified. So is Mahat, which is intellect, is conscious or intelligent? Of course, second alternative is only no. Hence, intellect is not conscious. Intellect is jada. Because this intellect is coming from Prakriti, and Prakriti is unintelligent. And Prakriti transforms itself into Mahat, which is Buddhi, which is intellect. So intellect is conscious or jada? Conscious or jada? It is nothing but jada. And hence, now somebody says, oh, I am very intellectual. Hence, I say, look, my intellect, I am very intellectual. Hence, what is coming out? Anger. And hence, I am in bondage. Hence, I am ordinary being, trapped into cycle of birth and death. Not clear, because you are not following from me. You asked question and then you left. You are not, मेरे साथ चले ही नहीं. Where is the problem? Tell me. बिल्कुल ठीक है, बताओ. मैंने तो बिल्कुल पूरा प्रॉपर एनालिसिस कर दिया. मैंने तो ये कहा यार, आई एम इंटेलेक्चुअल. So basically I am claiming and shouting that I am jad. ठीक है, बिल्कुल ठीक है, फाइन. Intelligent. Yes.
Then how it can be the conjugation of between what?
Why? Who is the root cause? You are not following Sankhya. Who is the root cause? All the things are coming from where? Where? Prakriti. Is Purush. I told you, I am not just for the sake of saying. Purush is least interested. Purush has nothing to do with the Prakriti. He is least bothered. Without conjugation, how come?
Then how can we say that Mahat is
It is simply without conjugation, how can we have the new creation? Can female can have, it's all on her own creation.
Then how can we say that Mahat is unintelligent?
So if Mahat is not influential, then what is it?
Huh?
If Mahat is not influential, then what is it?
It is jada.
That is what we are asking. It alone creates.
No, alone it can't create. Alone it can't create.
But after conjugation, intellect is coming.
Fine. But intellect is coming from where? That is only, a supplementary cause, no. Purush is not participating. Purush ने अपना कोई element नहीं दिया. No, you are thinking from that way कि भाई, both will contributing. No, it is not that.
Can we take it this way that Purush merely provides a disturbance for it to start
Yes.
creation and
Why may not?
is not the cause of anything?
Yes, yes. Purush is only providing disturbance. It is just like I have said, tsunami comes in the ocean. Isn't it? But is that tsunami is the cause of all those products which is coming from on the surface? No, that is only a subsidiary cause. That is only providing a medium for the disturbance. But why we are confused that Mahat, intellect, is intelligent? For that we will have reasons. But you asked question bit early. For that you have to wait. Isn't it? For the time being, you just have to remember that is logical, that's conceptual. You don't have to mug up. This is where again and again when we are saying Satkaryavad, Parinamvad, for that there is a purpose, no? So that we don't get stuck up in all these questions. Because there is a complete transformation of the cause into effect. बार बार समझाने का तो पर्पज ही वो था ना, otherwise that's a simple concept. Isn't it? I repeat so many times, right? Because we are reading philosophy. And it takes time to sink in. Right? But we don't have much time to sit down and, we give time to sink in. So I repeat it number of times with different tone, with certain emphasis on, certain, some words, so that it settles down. Whatever in time we have right now, we can utilize in that way. So I repeat 3, 4, 5 times, sometimes 7 times, because I know it will take some time to settle, isn't it? So no issue, but whatever your relevant questions are there, I told you all relevant questions will be answered during discussion. No problem at all. Your concern is right. Intellect, how can it be unintelligent? But you move how this Mahat intellect can be, unintelligent, right? But you move conceptually. Forget about what we thought earlier. We will think from the point of view of Sankhya. And what Sankhya is saying is right. They are right. And it is because of this, majority of the school would be accepting all these things. Right? In spite of many loopholes which you have started seeing. In spite of this, it has its own substance. So, if I move conceptually, all these products, from where they are coming? Prakriti. Prakriti is the root cause. Satkaryavad, Parinamvad, hence Prakriti get transformed into Mahat. Hence now you tell me, forget about what you thought earlier. Mahat, intellect, buddhi is Jada, is Prakriti. Then why it is we believe in intelligence? This is the cause of our ignorance. And this is why we are trapped in this bondage. वही तो सारा झगड़ा है. अगर मुझे ये पता लग जाए, if I come to know that this intellect is Jada, that means anger is gone, and Purusha, which is conjugated, and hence all these things will go back to Prakriti, and Purush gets liberated. But right now, Purush is trapped, bound by the rope of Prakriti, because I feel that this is my Prakriti. Isn't it? Out of? Hence I am attacked. Okay? कोई टेंशन नहीं है, no tension. Whatever your questions are there, just hold it. Just one more class I need. All your questions will be answered. No problem, because I know what you are going to ask. It is because of this, I ignore. I am trying to ignore. Isn't it? So, till now, I hope there is no issue. Now, this Sankhyan have given certain proofs for the existence of Prakriti. They have described Prakriti, what is Prakriti, they are explaining creation, right? They have discussed their nature, Prakriti's nature, Now, they are trying to say that we are not talking in just, in air. We have some base, right? And we have certain proofs for the existence of Prakriti. We have proof. But in philosophy, basically, don't again carried away by the term proof as we believe evidence. In philosophy, these proofs, so-called proofs, are basically arguments. Right? One thing. Second thing, whatever they have already believed, they are trying to prove that only. So it involves circular kind of thing. What I have assumed that this is there. Right? And then I say something and then say, hence it is there. Right? So don't get that they are going to give you evidence. They are just giving you certain arguments, which these people call as proof. Right? Okay. How? Repetitive question from examination point of view. They say that all things in this world are, all worldly things in this world are finite, conditional, dependent, limited, many. All the worldly things of this world, all the worldly objects are finite, conditional, dependent, limited, and are many. Isn't it? What they are saying is right. If they are like this, then logically it implies that there is something infinite, unconditional, independent, unlimited, and one. And this is who? Hence Prakriti exists. I hope now you understand what is proof. So whoever gives proof in philosophy will be like that only. And this is what will happen in philosophy of religion, paper 2, second part. There is one topic, proof for the existence of God. Isn't it? So वहीं गोल गोल घुमाते रहेंगे, कुछ नया proof won't come. So this is first proof. Second proof is that all these worldly objects, everything, have the capability to give rise to pleasure, pain, and indifference. Isn't it? This fan has the capability of giving three qualities, three, correct features, three effects: pleasure, pain, indifference. This duster has three, this table has three, I have three, this fan has three, this light has three. Everything, all worldly things have the capability of giving rise to these three things: pleasure, pain, and indifference. कंट्रोल नहीं हो रहा?
सर नहीं, मैं क्लैरिफिकेशन चाहता हूँ कि ये जो प्लेजर, पेन एंड इंडिफरेंस है, ये दे कॉज, मतलब वो कॉज करते हैं मेरे को, या फिर वो उनमें है?
वो कॉज कर, we infer actually. We infer, right? Prakriti is only inferred. Yesterday I mentioned, no problem, because we are not computed. Once we hear and we remember. This is no problem. If table is there, I infer that there must be cause. But cause I don't see. But I have inferred. In the same way, when I feel happy, then I say, yeah, there must be something which causes happiness. That must be Satguru. Isn't it? So they are only inferred. Prakriti is only inferred. Prakriti is subtle. Through these gross objects, I only infer that there must be some root cause, which is subtle. I can only think. I cannot see as I am seeing this table. Done? Isn't it? So everything has the capability to give rise to the characteristics of Sat, Raj, Tam. That logically implies that all these three, all the worldly objects are deriving this capability from the common source. From the common source. And that common source is must be unity of three gunas. And who is that? Hence Prakriti exists. Isn't it? सारी चीजें कहाँ से लेके आ रही हैं? There must be some common source. And that common source must be having these three gunas from where all these things are being derived. And that is nothing but Prakriti. Hence Prakriti exists. Right? Third is, in this simple relation, cause and effect, in the simple relation of cause and effect must have come because of some potent activity. That's fine. Cause. Activity. Isn't it? There must be some activity. Milk and curd. Isn't it? By saying curd, I say that curd has come, must have come because of some activity. That activity occurred where? Did it occur in curd? No. That activity must have occurred in its cause. And hence, that cause is ever active. And that is nothing but Prakriti. Hence, Prakriti exists. Curd has come only because of activity. That activity can't occur in curd. That activity must have occurred in its cause. Hence there must be milk where that activity had occurred. Hence milk exists. Isn't it? Fourth is, in the relation cause and effect, this effect, can it be its own cause? Can effect be its own cause? No. This effect points to a cause where it was already implicit. Effect cannot be its own cause. It points to its cause, which is where it was implicit. So cause and effect is nothing but the implicit explicit. And that cause where effect was already there is nothing but the Prakriti. Because Prakriti is the root cause of everything. Hence Prakriti exists.
Can you explain this part?
Let time give to utarne do pehle, no? We will see, no problem. There is one more proof, let us have that, and then again we will take up. There are 5 standard proofs, right? 4 are these. And fifth proof for the existence of Prakriti is that this universe is how many? 1. So unity of universe is only 1. So it will have how many cause? 1 cause. And who is 1? Hence Prakriti. I can't help it. This is how they have given. Hence, don't you worry, we will criticize. थोड़ी सी ठंडक आ जाएगी, हाँ criticize कर दी. We will criticize, no problem. First and second, no issue. Right? That's fine. Fifth, I hope, again there is no issue. Only third and fourth are creating some kind of problem. Third is proof is based on the activity. Where does activity is there? कहाँ हुई activity? Where activity is being done? In effect or its cause? ये तीसरा है. और चौथा क्या है? कि can effect be its own cause? Effect differs from the cause. Isn't it? I cannot be my own cause. I differ from the cause. Where I was earlier? Implicit. And hence, that cause has to be there. And that is Prakriti. Isn't it? First argument is Vedanam Parimanata. Let me bit scare you. Second is Samanvayata. Third is Karyataha Pravartesha. Fourth is Karan Karya Vibhagata. And fifth is Avibhagata Vaishvarupasya. घबराने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. After some time, even you would be saying that. But initially, as I told you, we are not computers. क्या एक बार बोला याद हो गया, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. Isn't it? 5-7 बार तो वैसे नॉर्मल चीज ही पढ़ने में याद होती है. Isn't it? So you have to remember these 5, those Sanskrit terms, no issues. छोड़ दें उसको, leave it. But don't forget these. Over a period of time, those 5 terms will also be in your head. No problem, not at all. I am very confident. Is that fine? So, what is Prakriti? Discuss, right? What is the nature of Prakriti? Then unity of 3 gunas. Then Samyavastha, homogeneous changes, Pralayavastha, conjugation. Then Gunakshoka. Then Vishamavastha. Then evolution, unfolding of Prakriti. 23 products come. Right? And this is what proofs for the existence of Prakriti. And these proofs are how many? 5. And they have to be 5 only. They are standard. Yeah? So these are the 5 proofs for the Prakriti. Let us take down the synopsis. Give heading, proofs for the existence of Prakriti. First is all individual things are limited, dependent, conditional. Logically it implies there is something unlimited, independent, unconditional. And that is Prakriti. There is something which is unlimited, independent, unconditional, and that is Prakriti. Second point, there must be common source. There must be some common source of 3 gunas, and that is Prakriti. Third, all effect arises from the activity. All effect arises from the activity of potent cause, and that activity lies in Prakriti. Fourth, effect differs from cause. Effect differs from cause, and effect points to a cause where they were implicit. Effect points to a cause where they were implicit, and this is Prakriti. And fifth is unity of universe. Unity of the universe points to a single cause, and that is Prakriti. And that is Prakriti. So this is Prakriti. Its critical comments we will take up after at the end of chapter, because right now we won't be able to appreciate it. Now let us see the status of another reality, what is happening and what exactly Purush means. Right? Sankhya school is a dualistic. Dualistic means two absolute realities. It is realistic. Realistic means these are ultimately real. They are pluralistic also, because we have seen that Purushas are many. So they are pluralistic realism. They are atheist. During this whole course of creation, did we need role? Is there any role of God? No, God is not needed, because Prakriti and Purusha are there. Fine. Now let us see what this Purush means. Purush, as we have already discussed, that this Purush is again co-eternal reality along with the Prakriti. This is independent, absolute, supreme. But this Purusha is or many intelligent principle that is conscious and it is inactive. It is inactive. It is also referred as Udasin. Udasin, neutral. As I told you earlier, it is least interested in worldly affairs. It is not interested in Prakriti. So it is as Udasin. Prakriti is the unity of three gunas. That is, Prakriti is Trigunatmaka. Prakriti is Trigunatmaka. That is, तीनों गुणों से युक्त. Unity of three gunas. Trigunatmaka. If Prakriti is the unity of three gunas, logically it implies that there is one entity who is beyond three gunas, isn't it? And that is beyond three gunas, and hence we refer Purusha, that is Purusha, and Purusha is referred as Nestarya Gunne. Nestarya Gunne. Prakriti was unity of three gunas, three gunatmak, unity of three gunas.
Prakriti is the unity of three gunas.
Logically it implies that there is one entity
which is beyond three gunas, because everything is logical.
That means that entity is not having any kind of gunas, isn't it? No satarastam, and that is known as Nestarya Gunne. We can also refer another term for this, Trigunatita, that is beyond three gunas. Triguna Atita, beyond three gunas. This Purusha is as we have seen, it is the eternal reality of which consciousness is regarded as the very essence. The very essence of the Purusha is consciousness. Purush is not a thing where infinite consciousness is existing. If that would have been the case, then consciousness could be removed, separable. But Purusha is itself consciousness. The very essence of the Purusha is consciousness. I hope you are understanding. Right? It is not something like that. Some people will say this. It is like this, but that will be criticized. But they say that this Purusha is itself consciousness. The very essence is consciousness. Further, they say that Purusha is neither body, nor man, nor senses, nor a substance. It is neither man, senses, body, or any substance whose attribute is consciousness. Rather, Purusha is nothing but consciousness. Purusha is nothing but the consciousness only. How many Purushas are there? Infinite. And hence, these Purushas are qualitatively what? Alike. But quantitatively, they vary. They differ. Infinite Purushas, plural Purushas are qualitatively alike. That means all Purushas are conscious. However, what varies? Degree of consciousness varies. Degree of consciousness varies. That means Purushas of Sankhya can be compared with the Jivas of Jainism and Monads of Leibniz and Self of Ramanuja. That means Purushas, infinite Purushas, are qualitatively alike. All Purushas are conscious. What varies? Degree of consciousness varies. Isn't it? That way they become similar to the Jiva of Jainas, Monads of Leibniz and Self of Ramanuja. I think we have already done this in Jainas. So that whenever these, out of four, whenever this comes, this whole line and this whole paragraph will come automatically. Is that fine? This Purusha, since it is eternal, since it is absolute, it is beyond bondage liberation. It is beyond bondage liberation. It is beyond space and time. Right? It is beyond merit and demerit. It is beyond birth and death. It is beyond its ultimate reality. It's a supreme, it's eternal, and such a reality is beyond space and time, bondage and liberation. There is no question of liberation because it never comes in bondage. It is beyond birth and death. There is no question of death because it is beyond that. Why? Because it is eternal reality. It is eternal. Right? It is beyond merit and demerit. Merit and demerit means that the stock of the fruits. It's beyond. Isn't it? Because fruits तो आएंगे ही नहीं. There won't be fruits. Why? No karmas. Why no karmas? It does not perform anything because it is inactive. You can correlate in that way. However, in spite of, without correlating, they are defining Purusha as this. And hence, I know what you will ask. Right? Just keep on moving. Right? I am very well aware. Beyond bondage liberation, space and time, merit and demerit, birth and death, no birth, no death, no bondage, no liberation. There is no question of liberation at all. Why? Because it never comes in bondage. Hence, it is Nitya Mukta. Nitya means eternal. Mukta means liberated. And hence, it is eternally free. It is eternally free. Eternal free. It is Nitya Mukta. But as you are not able to control, in the same way, we say, Yo bhaiya, ruko. How come? You are saying that is Nitya Mukta, but just because this person who is talking to you is trapped in birth and death, bondage and liberation, and you only told that the purpose of this creation is Kevalartham, Darshanartham and Kevalartham, isn't it? There is a conjugation between Prakriti and Purusha to realize their respective purpose, that is Darshanartham and Kevalartham. But now you say that Purusha is beyond this bondage and liberation, and it is Nitya Mukta. It is eternally free. But who this person is? Then Sankhya says, no problem at all. We will explain who this person is. But Purusha is the transcendent being. Purusha is the not transcendent being. Purusha is the transcendent reality. Transcendental hai wo. It is beyond all these things. Again, who they say? Then they say that actually what is happening, we have Purusha, right? It is shining in its own right. It is Nitya Mukta. It is eternal entity. But what happens? Purusha gets reflected in Mahat. And what was Mahat? Intellect. Purusha reflected, this being reflected in Mahat. Mahat में इसका reflection आ जाता है. Why? Because Mahat or intellect is near to Purusha. And Mahat is having the predominance of Sattva Guna. नहीं समझ में आया? No problem. It is just like moon get reflected in waves. Moon get reflected in waves. And now what happens? Waves seems to be illuminated. Waves seems to be lightened. Are you getting my point? And when these waves move, moon thinks that it is he who is moving. Why? Because he has come under the influence of ignorance. I repeat, Purush gets reflected in Mahata. Why? Because it has the predominance of Sattva Guna. And Sattva Guna is illuminated. Since Mahata, intellect, which is Jada, receives the light of Purusha, and this becomes illuminated. And Mahat starts believing that it is my light. And hence what comes after Mahat? Ahankar. Right? Just as moon gets reflected in waves. And because of ignorance, Purusha forgets its true nature and starts identifying itself with its reflection in Mahat. Purush forgets its true nature and starts saying that this reflection is actually me. And because of this ignorance, it comes into bondage. Just as moon gets reflected in waves, right? And this moon forgets its true nature, and moon starts thinking that reflected part is only me. And now when these waves move, moon thinks that it is he who is moving. And when these waves rises, then moon starts jumping with joy that look, I have huge profit in business, I have got promotion, I have got this bliss, I have got that happiness. Because it has forgotten its through nature. Waves are rising and it's jumping with joy. And when waves fall, then it starts crying. Isn't it? But actually, moon is untouched by the rise and fall of waves. It is only its moon's ignorance. On the other hand, waves, water, receives the reflection of moon, receives the light of moon, and they get illuminated. And water starts behaving as if they are intelligent, because they receive the light of moon. In the same way, intellect, which is Jada, when it receives the reflection of Purusha, intellect starts behaving as if it is intelligent principle or Purusha. Though it is Jada. Isn't it? Then why it get reflected in waves? Because water has the predominance of Sattva Guna. Moon is also reflected in sand, but sand has the predominance of darkness, Tama Guna. It absorbs. Reflection तो उसमें भी है ना, but it absorbs, isn't it? But in water it gets reflected because of Sattva Guna. In the same way, Purusha gets reflected in Mahat because of the nearness, proximity and predominance of Sattva Guna. Is that fine? Hence, now you tell me who we are. Who we are right now? Yes, who we are. Are we right now this or this? We are reflection. Because this Purusha is Nityamukta, and this name we have found that this reflected part is known as Sopadhik Purusha. Sopadhik Purusha. I'll give you another example, not to be written your answer. It is just like, for example, I have to go somewhere, a very important meeting, and I have to reach there sharp at some time. Fine, but I got late. Right? And now, I'm fast getting ready. I'm using, wearing and this and that, and, just this fatafat say, I'll just get, ready and I'll rush. And I'm seeing myself in the mirror. I'm so engrossed in my preparation, in my getting ready, and out of tension of that reaching on the time, I forget my true nature, and I start identifying myself with my reflection in the mirror. Getting my point? I forgot my nature, true nature, who am I, and I start believing in this reflection, it is me. And I'm getting fast ready, and I'm so engrossed into that. Now you come, and you come with the mug of colors, hiding, and then asking, sir, where? And I say, oh, don't disturb. I'll talk to you later on. Right now I'm in a very hurry. I'll come and get back to you. And then you say, sir, 1 minute. And you throw mug of colors on the mirror. Moment you throw colors on that me, because and now I have forgotten my true nature, and I'm considering that as me only. What I'll do first of all? पहले तो 2 लगा दूँ. Why? Because you spoiled. I'm already late, and you have made me dirty. And then I'll say, okay, fine, I'll come and then I'll talk to you. Abhi hat jaya. And I'll pick up duster, clothes, Collins, and I started cleaning and sweating like anything. And when I clean it again, then I say, yes, I have become again clean. But I was already clean. It is only my ignorance that I was finding myself as dirty. And when I clean it, then I say, I have again become clean. So in that same way, when we get liberation, then we say that we got liberation. But actually I am already liberated. This is where it is Nityam. So we all are right now Sopadik Purush, reflection. Because Purusha is the transcendent being that is untouched by all kinds of imperfection. When moon realizes its true nature, then moon will laugh, isn't it? Here unnecessarily I was jumping with joy and unnecessarily I was crying with the rise and fall of waves. I am untouched. I am beyond promotions and demotions and profit and loss. I am shining in its own mind, right? Is that fine? This is the Purush. As they have given proofs for the existence of Prakriti, they will also give proofs for the existence of Purush. And at the same time, Purushas are many, hence they will give proof for the existence of plurality of Purushas. So we will have two proofs, for the existence and for the plural. Is that fine? Time is not permitting, so I think I have to wind up. Yeah. Who has? Who has? Intellect has. Mahat has. But Mahat has the dominance. Balance bigda tabhi to I am in bondage. Right? Anyway, yeah.
Quantitatively different Purushas are there.
Degree of consciousness varies.
Okay, this table also has some consciousness?
If they have consciousness, then their low degree of consciousness is low. You can understand in that way.
Like Jainas?
Slightly different. Jainas maybe they have classified into 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense. Anything which does not have even 1 sense, that is out and out man. Right? So we have to get into their religion, whether this has sense or not.
Who is in bondage?
Sopadik Purush. Confused? I know confusion is. We will be asking these questions to them. First we will understand, and then we will ask who is in bondage. Because now how much they speak, isn't it? They are continuously speaking. More they speak, more trouble they are inviting for them. Right? They are trapped out and out. They are trapped fully. Because they are that questions and these, what you are seeing and what you are correlating, you are finding at many places a big contradiction. So we will criticize them later on. Isn't it? No issues at all. And we will be raising who is in the bondage, Sopadik Purush, and something like that. Isn't it? So, in next class, they will seek more, and hence more trouble. We will see that to what level they create trouble for them. And then we will show where is your basic problem. Is that fine? Chaliye, I'll wind up. On Saturday, Sunday, we are not meeting. And Monday, as usual, will continue. Same time. Okay, thank you.
वो तो कंजुगेशन हो गया पुरुष में तो कोई चीज नहीं निकलती, बस ये इसलिए हमने कहा it is not.